The one disease theory, mucus, and the lie of modern medicine. They say modern medicine has the answer to everything. There's a pill for every pain, a surgery for every symptom, and a diagnosis for every discomfort. But what if that entire system was built on a flawed foundation? What if the problem wasn't in your joints, your blood pressure, or even your immune system, but in your food? That was the core belief of Dr. Sebi, a man who dared to look deeper than lab coats and textbooks. He wasn't trained in a university. He didn't carry a degree. He didn't wear a stethoscope. But he had something far more powerful: real results. When I first came across Dr. Sebi's teachings as a licensed physician, I'll admit I was skeptical. His message was too simple, too radical. He claimed that there's only one disease. Just one. And that disease is mucus. It sounds absurd at first, but let's break it down like scientists. Because what I've learned after 30 years in clinical practice is this: the simplest answers are often the most truthful. According to Dr. Sebi, mucus is not just a substance in your nose when you catch a cold. It's the body's emergency response system. It's how the body tries to protect itself from toxins, invaders, and foreign matter. Imagine this. When your lungs are inflamed during bronchitis, what clogs the airways? Mucus. When someone has sinusitis, what blocks their nose and causes pressure? Mucus. When pneumonia takes hold, what fills the lungs and suffocates the cells? Mucus. Even in chronic illnesses like diabetes, arthritis, and high blood pressure, Dr. Sebi argued that the root cause was an acidic environment, producing excess mucus that interrupts normal cellular function. Modern doctors see separate illnesses. Dr. Sebi saw one origin and therefore one solution. And the main villain? The food we eat. He believed that when we eat foods not created by nature, highly processed meals, refined sugars, artificial additives, we invite inflammation, congestion, and ultimately disease. And here's the hard truth I've come to accept. He wasn't wrong. I've reviewed hundreds of patient files where no drug could fix the problem, but a change in diet. A real, meaningful shift to natural, unprocessed, plant-based foods suddenly reversed conditions that had haunted patients for years. Dr. Sebi wasn't inventing a miracle. He was reminding us of something ancient. Something we all knew before we were trained to forget. The body doesn't want drugs. It wants balance. His idea of electric foods sounds spiritual, but it's grounded in science. The human body runs on electrical impulses. Our brain sends signals through electric currents. Our hearts beat because of bioelectrical activity. So the question is, shouldn't our food support that energy? When we eat dead, processed foods, food that's been cooked until it has no life left, or preserved with chemicals to survive a year on a shelf, are we feeding our body, or just filling it? Dr. Sebi believed that real food, made by nature, carries energy. He called it electric food. Fruits grown from natural seeds, vegetables harvested in mineral-rich soil, grains and herbs untouched by chemicals or laboratories. This isn't folklore. There's research that shows plant-based foods reduce inflammation, improve gut health, and lower the risk of chronic illness. What Dr. Sebi offered was not a miracle cure. It was a return to common sense. He once said, "You have to deliver yourself to God. And that means eating only what God made." Now, you don't have to be religious to understand the weight of that statement. It means cutting out man-made junk. It means listening to your body, not silencing it with pills. And it means embracing a way of living that's been practiced by generations before us, long before medicine became an industry. So ask yourself, why do animals in the wild not need hospitals? Why do lions, birds, and elephants rarely suffer the way humans do? They eat what their bodies are meant to eat. We don't. We eat for pleasure, for addiction, for habit, not for nourishment. And that's why we're sick. Dr. Sebi's message is clear. Disease is not an enemy. It's a warning sign, a signal that we've drifted from nature, and we need to come back before it's too late. Acid versus alkaline, the real war inside our body. Most people think of pH as something they learned in high school chemistry. But in medicine, preventive medicine, pH is everything. The human body functions best in a slightly alkaline state. That means a pH between 7.35 and 7.45. When we shift below that into acidity, we're entering dangerous territory. Cells become stressed. Inflammation begins. And diseases take hold. Dr. Sebi understood this before most doctors cared to. He divided food into two camps. One that alkalizes the body and heals, and one that acidifies and slowly kills. Alkaline foods are natural, mineral-rich, and unprocessed. Things like kale, wild herbs, seeded fruits, cucumbers, and seamus. Acidic foods are what fill most people's shopping carts. White bread, soda, fried meat, cheese, pasta, processed snacks. Here's the science. When you consume acidic food, your body fights back by pulling minerals like calcium and magnesium from your bones just to balance your pH. The result? Bone density drops. Inflammation spikes. Fatigue increases. And over time your immune system crashes. You see, your body is trying to survive an assault. But in doing so, it burns itself out. Dr. Sebi warned against this long before alkaline diets became trendy. He said, "You must eat what God made, not what man manipulated." He was right. Natural food contains more than vitamins. It holds life force, energy, conductivity. It's what he called electric food for the electric body. And today, we finally have studies confirming what he preached. Whole food, plant-based diets not only reduce inflammation, they reverse the early stages of heart disease and diabetes. I've witnessed it. I've seen patients drop blood pressure medications in 6 weeks. I've seen cholesterol normalize in 30 days without a single pill. Why? Because the human body is incredibly intelligent when we stop poisoning it. Fasting, glucose and seamus, the path to detox and reversal. One of the most controversial things Dr. Sebi ever said was this: stop eating for 90 days. As a physician, I was trained to fear fasting. We're taught that without food, the body weakens. That glucose is essential. That long-term fasting is starvation. But once I looked deeper into cellular biology, I realized Dr. Sebi wasn't talking about starvation. He was talking about restoration. When you stop eating the junk, the chemical-laced, glucose-heavy, processed foods, you're not starving. You're giving your body a break. During fasting, your digestive system finally rests. Your cells begin autophagy, the natural process of cleaning up waste, dead tissue, and toxins. Your body becomes smarter. Your metabolism resets. Your inflammation drops. And then there's glucose. Dr. Sebi saw glucose, especially refined sugar, as the silent killer. And he wasn't alone. Today, endocrinologists acknowledge that excess glucose leads to insulin resistance, fat storage, oxidative stress, and cellular aging. So what happens when you cut glucose? You lose weight. You gain clarity. You get your life back. Dr. Sebi did exactly that. From 291 pounds to 120. And the secret? He replaced harmful foods with medicinal plants. Seamus, cuscuta, thyme, and iron-rich herbs. Let's talk seamus. Most people see it as a trendy supplement now. But Dr. Sebi considered it sacred. Why? Because it contains 92 of the 102 minerals the human body needs. Magnesium for your nerves. Zinc for your hormones. Iron for your blood. Calcium for your bones. And when taken in its raw, natural form, seamus nourishes on a cellular level. Not with isolated vitamins, but with full-spectrum, bioavailable nutrients that your body recognizes instantly. You don't just take seamus. You absorb it. You become it. The milk mistake, baby nutrition, and pharma deception. Dr. Sebi once said something bold. The milk of another species is not meant for humans. And scientifically, he's not wrong. Cow's milk contains a sugar called lactose. Many humans lose the enzyme lactase after infancy, which is why so many suffer from bloating, gas, or even chronic inflammation when drinking milk. But it's not just about digestion. Cow's milk is made to grow a 90-pound calf into a 1,000-pound cow. It's loaded with growth hormones, proteins, and fats designed for animals, not humans. So what happens when you feed that to a baby? You're interrupting natural development. You're adding foreign hormones. You're changing gut bacteria. And in some cases, you're setting the stage for autoimmune issues. Dr. Sebi advocated for breast milk only, followed by electric foods that supported natural human biology. He also warned us against vitamins and supplements made in laboratories. He said, "Dead food cannot nourish a living body." Most over-the-counter vitamins are synthetic. They're made from coal tar, petroleum, or genetically modified yeast. They're not food. They're chemicals with a vitamin-like shape. Your body doesn't recognize them. They don't integrate into your cells. What they do instead is overload your liver, confuse your metabolism, and give you a false sense of security. Meanwhile, you stay sick. And then there's the pharmacy industry. Sick people equals repeat customers. You take a pill for blood pressure. It damages your kidneys. Now you need another pill for that. Then your liver reacts, and so on. This isn't healthcare. It's a cycle. A system that profits not from healing, but from managing sickness. And Dr. Sebi refused to be part of it. He healed patients with herbs. Real, carbon-based herbs. He didn't write prescriptions. He rewrote destinies.